What's up, friends, and welcome back to another monthly challenge with me, Miss Pixie, a little P to the I to the XIE. This time around, I decided to jump on the Chloe Ting bandwagon and do the 28-day flat tummy challenge. Now, anything to do with a Chloe Ting workout automatically tells you it's going to be killer. But I was determined nonetheless. Just a heads up, I did start this challenge at the end of January so that I could post this video at the end of this month. The last 3 clips/workouts I actually filmed in January, so if you notice my gym layout changing and then changing back, that explains why. I really wanted to stick to my day 1 being on the 1st, my day 2 being on the 2nd, etc. So just excuse my OCD, it just helps me plan better. However, there is a change in my gym layout because we finally got some new equipment, maybe like halfway through the challenge. We even got a treadmill, so comment below if you can guess what next month's challenge is. Right now, moving my focus back to this challenge. So for each day, I filmed 1 workout out of the whole workout, so the clips that you see here only shows maybe the first video of about 3 or 4 videos for the day's challenge. I'm a firm believer in no pain, no gain, and this challenge definitely made me feel like I was making progress. I kid you not, if I hadn't done the 24-day shred challenge with Gains by Brains, I don't think I would have survived or completed this challenge. January's challenge was 6 days straight of working out, followed by 1 rest day, giving me a total of 4 rest days. However, I actually liked the way Chloe's guide was laid out. Your workouts would be consistent for 3 to 4 days, followed by a rest day, and then back on for 2 to 3 days. In total, there were 7 rest days for this challenge, so in the video, for the days you don't see, those are actually my rest days. The name of this challenge obviously revolves around achieving a flat tummy, but I will say there is a lot of focus on getting a nice booty. At least I personally felt there was a big focus on the booty workouts, almost as much as abs or the HIIT workouts, maybe even more. There were even a few arms and upper body days, which were intense but not terrible, and I loved every minute of it. I really love the balance and variety of the workouts in this video. I do feel like my butt got the most out of this as opposed to my tummy and my abs. With that being said, I'm actually terrified to see what a Chloe Ting booty focus challenge would feel like if her flat tummy challenge made my booty burn. In all honesty, no, I did not do any of the optional videos, which were basically the warm-ups and cool-down videos. Don't get me wrong, I know these are super important. I think at first I just really psyched myself out based on how long the workouts were. I felt like January's challenge consisted of shorter workouts, so immediately I was intimidated by the length of these videos and this month's challenge because the workouts were potentially 50 minutes long if you were doing the warm-up and the cool-down and then all the workouts that you're supposed to do. And I know that's normal for some people, but I'm still pretty new at this, so yeah, I was a little bit intimidated at first. And I won't lie, for most part, especially at the beginning, I chose to do most of the low-impact alternatives because, quite honestly, I wasn't able to keep up, and I wanted to take some time to really get into that and have that conversation. When COVID hit last year, it really flipped my regular routine. At the time, I was working 2 jobs plus going to the gym. One of my jobs allowed me to be on my feet all the time. I used to joke about that being my cardio, but when the malls closed, that was taken away from me. For those of you who know me, I've been doing Muay Thai for a few years now, and that was literally my only source of working out and staying fit. When I fell off for a bit after suffering from my spine being sprained, it took me a really long time to get my head into the game and start being serious about it again. I'll save the story time for another video, but basically I would train, but with the constant fear of getting hurt again. Eventually, I did get more serious about Muay Thai again, and I even started weightlifting. I loved it. And just as things were looking up, COVID hit and took my gym away too. Prior to my injury, I remember being 118 pounds because I really, really wanted to fight. I worked hard to eat properly and train multiple times a day. In the end, I never got matched up to a fight, and I ended up with a spine injury that was expected to have me out for 6 months to a year. But by God's grace, I was able to walk properly again in 6 months. Unfortunately, during that time, I gained 30 pounds and I hated myself. With a new work routine, I struggled to make it to the Muay Thai classes in time. I hated running and I hated skipping because I just hated the idea of any of the other fighters seeing me try to catch my breath. I even started wearing oversized shirts while training to give an illusion that I was smaller underneath. It hurt to see the new fighters coming in and getting fights before me. I was just so embarrassed and so disappointed because no matter what I did, the scale just never showed me 118 pounds again. Eventually, I gave up and told myself that Muay Thai was just going to be a hobby and I was just never going to get to fight and I should just not have that expectation anymore. I was definitely one of those girls that considered themselves fat, and I body shamed myself all the time. I didn't want the thick thighs, I didn't want the curves, I didn't want the big boobs, I didn't want anything that gave me a jiggle when I walked, not even for a second. I did the detox teas, I took the flat tummy gummies, I did the diets, I tried intermittent fasting. I didn't get to, but I wanted to try it all. And then I got sick of constantly trying different things. This went on for years, and honestly, not a lot of people knew what I was doing or the demons I was dealing with. There was even a point where I would wear a waist trainer every day for like 6 to 20 hours. Honestly, sometimes even overnight I would wear it just so I could fix the way I looked. And no one would have guessed unless I told them. Because to others, I was average. I was, some people I was skinny. But to me, I was just fat and overweight because at one point the scale told me I was 118 pounds. So I knew I messed up. And it was my fault. I wasn't seeing those numbers anymore. And I just so desperately wanted that back. If you've watched my videos or follow my channel, you know that between 2019 and 2020, I had a few breakdowns at a job that was extremely toxic for me. That's when I really started to take my mental health seriously. And although it took me almost a year later, I also realized how important what I told and thought of myself was and how much I impacted my mental health. You could tell me I'm beautiful every day, but I wouldn't believe you because the extra body fat on my lower tummy made me feel less. It took me so long, but I finally love and accept my body and the skin I'm in. I finally embrace that I'm a medium-sized girl, a large in some stores. I'll never be a size 0 or even a 2. Is that wrong? Absolutely not. It's just not for me. I don't want to be a small. I just want to be healthy and fit. And I can easily tell you the 4 reasons that remind me to love who I am because they do. And they go by Ada, Ava, Emma, and Elena. These 4 girls make my heart so full, and loving myself clicked because I will never allow them to look at a part of themselves and think that they aren't enough, and then be a hypocrite because I'm telling myself that I'm not. And one day, this same body will carry another reason for me to love it even more. You're probably wondering what this has to do with Chloe Ting's challenge. Nothing. But since accepting myself and all my flaws, I've actually enjoyed working out again. I'm more interested in learning how to target areas and engage my core than the numbers on the scale. But I wanted to share that you shouldn't give up on yourself and to enjoy pushing yourself to be the best version of you, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever that is. I felt so strong and so pumped after this one, and I'm so excited for the next challenge, and I hope that feeling continues every month. I've recently had the privilege of working with an upcoming brand that's launching a swim line this summer, and it couldn't have been more fitting for this time in my life. This brand represents women of all shapes and sizes, and it screams empowerment and self-love, and I can't wait to share more with you soon. Last week, I got to be part of the photo shoot for the swimwear, and initially, I was nervous. I woke up feeling super bloated because my body was preparing for its cycle. I recently celebrated my birthday and had finished the last slice of 3 cakes the night before. I remember stepping on the scale and thinking for a moment that I had thrown all the workouts I had been doing out the window with what I had been eating. I literally stopped for a moment and shook my head because the workouts were for me, because I enjoyed them. I'm so glad that I flipped that mentality quick and reminded myself of that because I had so much fun at that photo shoot. I felt so comfortable and so confident in what I was wearing, and I honestly can't wait for other women to feel the same thing. This video is coming to an end with day 28 quickly approaching. If you didn't watch the video, I sure hope you stuck around for the message, because I think it's super important to understand and know that our bodies are all different, and at the end of the day, you only have the one body, and you should love it as best as you can. Self-love is the best love. Well, friends, that's all I've got to say, and that's it for this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you've done one of Chloe Ting's challenge and what you think next month's challenge will be. Take care, friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!